This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Ricky Widmer here, along with fellow man-child Johnny Karlic.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers!
And you know what is so weird right now, Johnny?
What?
If, like, you guys on YouTube see we have headphones on and you hear us on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, Stitcher, all podcast services, but I can't hear myself or you in our headphones because of what we're about to do for this first segment.
I have one off just so I can hear you, and you see I'm wearing two of them.
It's
on
weird
YouTube.
to have that like I can't hear myself. But welcome to the Rick and Johnny podcast, where we look at superheroes, we look at entertainment, we look at gaming. Big gaming podcast for this week. But before we get into everything, we're going to look at God of War. We're going to look at Xbox Game Pass. We're going to look at Game of Thrones today. Before we do that, a little bit of housekeeping for you guys. Number one is, if you like what we're doing here, want to help support us, check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Also, if you want an MVP t-shirt, we are selling those. Information down in the description. If you're on iTunes, have an iTunes account, please go and give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. And last but not least, if you have not already given us your feedback, check out the MVP survey in the description. We want your feedback to make 2018 a better year for MVP. But Johnny, we're looking at games today. We're looking at Xbox Game Pass later. We're looking at Game of Thrones later. We're looking at God of War.
It's a game show.
Now. Yeah, the game show, except for Games of War. Yeah, Game of Thrones. So the game show today. I didn't even get that in my head at first. But we're looking at God of War first. And here's what we're going to do. Much like we did for Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
The God of War had a about 3-minute trailer come out for their story. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch it, react to it with you guys, and then we're going to talk about this God of War story. So let's get ready to, let me know when you're ready so that we can hit play at the exact same time.
Huh? What'd you say?
You good?
I'm good.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that's loud.
You had the volume up too high?
Oh, there do I see my father. Oh, there do they call to me. Oh, there do they call to me. Oh, there do they call to me.
That bow's a little big for you, isn't it?
My mother made it for me. Said I'd grow into it.
Find your
Now
way
that's the
home.
one thing that I've heard people say.
You are free.
The weapon.
Yeah.
It's got an
Taking our
axe in
ashes to
this
the
one.
highest peak in the realms.
Yeah.
Ashes.
That's interesting so far.
It was our last wish.
Where must we go?
To a realm beyond your own.
Because like some
only
people
one
still
path
want
from
them to
get you where you
have
need to
the
go.
Kratos blades.
the weapons around
Call
the
me.
arms.
Yeah, we
Mimir.
got to
Smartest
switch over
man
to
alive. First, you need to cut off
the
my head.
mythology.
Wait,
we're going
what?
with.
That axe you got.
Wait, what? We gotta
You
cut off your
handle her
head?
special.
I know you're a god. Not of this realm, but there's no mistaking it. He doesn't know, does he? About your true nature? Or his own?
The longer you wait, the more damage you do. He will resent you, and you may lose him forever.
You're next! I'll rip your head off!
There are consequences to killing a god.
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Power of this weapon, any weapon, comes from here. But only when tempered by this. By discipline.
Heart of the cards, Johnny.
Self-control,
Heart of the
one
cards.
who wields it. Open the door! We need your help!
This is no ordinary illness. The boy's true nature, your true nature, fights within him.
Oh.
Like you?
No. We
I
are
hope
not
he gets
men.
those weapons back.
I wonder if he
More
is,
than
because now that's kind of symbolism for it.
Because those are the scars from when they used to be around his arms.
Yeah.
that big?
Can you kill something that big? Yeah, I am so excited for it. Like, for me, this is up. I should probably move my headphones back so that I can hear you.
Take this off.
Like, and that's the thing where with this kind of trailer, it was a lot of our reactions to it, like facial reactions, because you don't want to talk over, like the story trailer, you don't want to talk over.
No,
it.
you don't.
But a few things I'm kind of looking at here is I know one of the big kind of criticisms when people found out it's going to be Kratos and Son, God of War, Kratos and Son, was that it's like, great, it's going to be him and this kid. After seeing this trailer, I want to play this game today.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there is going to be so much emotion within this story to where I'm going to feel for this kid. I'm going to feel for him like Kratos will. Something's going to happen to him. I think we already saw that a little bit in the trailer.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen to him, and I am going to be crushed. And my thought process, I know you didn't play The Last of Us, did you?
No, not much of it.
If this game makes me feel a quarter of how I felt during The Last of Us, it's going to be a great game. Like, that is what I'm thinking after seeing this trailer.
I would love to be able to play this game. You know how much I love Norse mythology.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing is, I've played at least 2 of the 3 other God of War games.
Mm-hmm.
And just going along with what you said with about the kid, it looks like because he's a god, technically, and he's the god of war.
Well, he's the son of Kratos.
He's the son of Kratos. And what's interesting is the illness is what's fighting inside of him, is what is part of Kratos. Because what it seems like is he's trying to prevent his son from being like him.
Yeah. Well, isn't really that all parents? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You don't want your kids to make the same mistakes that you made?
Well, as he screams to him, you don't kill a god. There are consequences. How do you know? How do you know?
Because Kratos.
Because I did it. Okay.
Because he's killed many gods. I remember fighting Zeus in the old games.
Remember the first one you fight is Ares. You fight Ares.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, that's the thing that I love. Like, I couldn't help but laugh because it's kind of humorous to me.
Yeah.
To the 2 humorous parts. The first one was true humor of like, you have to cut my head off. Wait, what? Huh? We gotta cut your head off?
Wait,
and then
what?
The second one when he's like, what does he say? He's got the bow and arrow and he's like, I'll eat your heart out. It's like he's getting all angry and just shooting the bow. It just makes me laugh because it's like, oh, look at the little tyke.
Look at this little monster.
He's getting all angry and stuff.
Oh, look at the little monster getting angry.
But I think that the story, now that I'm actually seeing what this story is going to be, it's going to put me through the feels. I can already tell you.
Yeah.
I am going to have feels. The other point of the trailer that made me go, oh my God, the first time I saw it was when the bandage falls away.
Oh, yeah.
And you actually see the burn marks from his weapons in the old game. And I'm like, oh, like, please let there be something. Not necessarily him get those back, but there's got to be something to where the kid notices and the kid asks about it. And we get Kratos talking about that time when he had those weapons, basically as shackles around his wrists.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome, like, to find out more about what that's going to play into. Because now we know at least that they're going to somewhat reveal it. Because what it looks like is he loses those, they're not gauntlets, van braces technically is what they're called. He loses those. It's just the wrapping of, I think he even at one point had that wrapping on there, didn't he? But to have, like, because like you said, the burn marks, the scars, the whatever is there from using the whatever the dual blades. I forgot what they're actually called now.
I'll look it up, but continue at your point.
No, I would just love to see what the interaction is for that. What it plays into that. And it's got to reveal something to the kid, and that could be where the argument comes in from him and his son of how do you know what it's like to kill a god, like that there's consequences to killing a god. Or
Blades of Chaos.
Blades of
They were
Chaos.
called.
See, I knew it's something with chaos.
Well, you had Kratos' equipment, Blades of Chaos, the Blades of Athena, which were also a different version of it.
Yeah.
Blades of Exile. You had the Blade of Olympus was also a weapon that you've used.
But all in all, it's the Blades of Chaos. Yeah, those I think are the ones that burned him anyways.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing that with this game is this is going to be, I think, the most, well, I don't think this is a hot take or anything. It's just what it is. This is going to be the most different God of War game.
Oh, definitely.
That we've seen. Because through my experience, I played God of War 1 way back before. It was my second platinum. That was around the time I was in the platinum race with one of my sister's ex-boyfriends, where it was basically me and him basically seeing who's going to get more platinums. Because Borderlands was the first one I platinumed. This was the second one. Played God of War 2. Started to play God of War 3 and never got through it. And I was like, you know what? This is where I fall off the God of War train. And I wonder that will there be those people, if I could speak actual words here on the podcast.
English is a difficult language.
Will there be those people that maybe fell off during a God of War 3 or were like, you know what? It's been so long since I played a God of War game. Is it even worth it? And they won't buy the game.
That's true. I mean, I fell off for a multitude of reasons. I kind of started switching platforms at that point from PS to Xbox because I didn't want to get the PS3 at the time. I wanted to get the Xbox because I had more friends playing at that moment.
It's going to be nearly almost 7 years or almost 8 years to the day. God of War 3 to God of War this one.
Wow. That's a long time.
March 16th, 2010 was when God of War 3 came out, and this one's going to be...
to the day.
Well, almost. It's a month later. This one's April 20th.
Yeah, but almost to the day.
Almost to the day. About a month after, and it's 8 years since the God of War game. So, I mean, is that even going to take into effect of it? Like, can a trailer like this start... Like, in me, it already has.
Yeah.
But do you think it can ignite the flames enough in people that played the old games to make it like, oh, maybe I should buy this, compared to the first time we saw it and people were like, really? It's just Kratos and son.
So, you know, what I like is what a good thing to do sometimes is when you've had the game and you put out too many of them in a sense, you could sometimes say that, is to give it a break and then to bring it back out with a variation or a little bit of twist, but with some of the same flair as the old one. I'll be honest, I know we talked about it like way in the beginning when we first started this podcast.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Was it like we kind of talked, is it just going to be a rehash of the old one? Well, I finally watched it the other day.
Did you?
The newest one.
It took you a year.
It took me a year. Yes, it did.
When you brought up Pirates of the
wanted to
Caribbean,
see
I
it
was
then.
like, you brought up Pirates, and I was like, holy shit, man, we haven't talked Pirates of the Caribbean in forever.
We haven't. And
I remember doing that
because
segment,
I didn't know until recently. I haven't watched my Netflix in probably 2 months. Partially because I've been using Hulu, partially because I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
True.
I came back to it. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean was on there. I was at work and I'm like, you know what? I'm waiting for these classes then. I'm going to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, the new one. And it was great. Pirates of the Caribbean 4 was okay.
Do you remember the title we did for that?
No, I don't.
Should we be excited for Pirates of the Caribbean 5?
I was.
We did that March 10th.
Yes.
March 10th, so almost a year. It's been 10 months since we talked about Pirates of the Caribbean.
And that's the thing for me, though, is I watched it, and I'm glad I did, because they had a lot of fresh takes on everything, but some of those jokes and some of those characteristics that you don't want to die away.
So what you're saying is God of War could be doing the same thing.
In a sense, yeah.
A different take on the God of War franchise, but it's bringing new life to it.
Yes, exactly. It's breathing new life into a game that you loved it when you played it and you loved it when it first came out. And then the second one was, this is pretty good. Third one kind of started to make it go stale.
Yeah.
Franchises, that happens in franchises. And
when
then
you overstimulate something.
Exactly. When you overstimulate something, you get bored with it. Am I right? Well, then take a break, and they came back to it, and I love this. And I love the fact that it went with a new mythology.
Now it's the Norse mythology instead of the Greek and Greek gods.
Exactly. And it's great because you have that new mythology, you have a new weapon, you have a new take on some stuff. Now he has a son he also has to make sure doesn't die, not just you. You have to also, he has someone else to take care of, which makes a new spin on it. But it's in some essences, from watching this, from watching some of the gameplay, it's still the same old Kratos deep down inside.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking here and there's a first era, which was Greek mythology. Now we're in the second era, which is Norse mythology.
Yeah.
And if I look at the timeline for God of War, I know there were numerous God of War games.
Yeah.
But the big ones I'm looking at is God of War 1, God of War 2, God of War 3, and then God of War 2018.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'm looking at. So God of War was 2005. 2 years later, 2017. So it came out 2005 when we were, so if it came out early 25 is what I'm guessing, then we were about, what would that have been? End of freshman year.
Yeah.
So end of freshman year of high school, we get God of War 1. End of junior year, we get God of War 2. And then when we're in college, sophomore year of college, I would say, maybe junior year of college, end of sophomore year of college, we get God of War 3.
Yeah.
And those are where they come. Now we get the new one. So it was, we've got 2 years, then 3 years, but that's still 5 years of 3 games. We had a 5-year chunk with 3 games in there.
Yeah, and gaming's a little different than movies because it takes a little bit longer to get them done.
It depends on how long you're going to, like, the development process. Like, we're not talking about it today. I almost wanted to bring it up, but I'll bring it up here.
Yeah.
The game Anthem. I don't know if I showed you that when the trailer came out. Anthem's the game, if you guys don't know, where it's like you have the like Iron Man exosuits kind of.
I remember.
Well, that's being delayed now until 2019.
Oh, really?
It's being pushed back an entire year. So like there could be development problems. It could take just a while to develop the game more so than movie, cast, shoot, here we go. But the thing I wanted to ask you is, will this just be a God of War 8? Because we don't get this in the trailer. We'll get it when we play it. Do you think this game will be God of War and it puts a finality to God of War? Or will this be, because it's now Norse mythology, is this going to kickstart another trilogy of God of War games?
See, I'm hoping one or two things. It leaves it kind of open-ended for them to, well, we can make another one. Because that would be cool. What would be cool too is, let's say he finishes off the Norse gods or whatever he needs to do with the Norse gods. We have many other pantheons we can go with, and I use pantheon even though it's technically the Greek. He is God of War Greek. I mean, you could do something with the Egyptian gods. There's many other ones. I mean, Mesopotamians if you want to go way back when. But I'm just saying, you can do any of those gods, any pantheon you want. I think it would be cool to have another, maybe not a trilogy of this one, but maybe 1 to 2 games of this, and tie it into a story where he has to leave the Norse area and find
somewhere else.
Yeah, go somewhere else. He just has to keep traveling because he effed up this part of this era, this pantheon of gods. Now he effed up this pantheon of gods. Well, I gotta get somewhere else. Now he's gonna do this one. Or follow it up. He's too old. His son's now the one that has to do it.
And that's what I was thinking of. With me, I'm relating this closely to The Last of Us. And the thing I liked most about The Last of Us was it left the ending open-ending. Like, there was an open ending to it. But if you were like, this is the only game we're making, I was satisfied with that game all the way through and where it ended. Yes, was there a greater question? But it was one of those greater questions to where it's like, you know what? I'm at peace asking that question and not having an answer to it.
Yeah.
Now, they're coming out with another game, which I'm totally excited for because I love The Last of Us as well. But with this one, I wouldn't be surprised if they do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's just leave it with an open-ending question that's not really too much like, hey, we're doing this. And then gauge basically how people respond to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because really also it comes down to,
is it worth making
how much
another
moolah
one?
can we get out of it? Like
Yeah.
the price of making the game compared to how much we're going to make from
Exactly. You want to make sure if you're gonna make the game, you're gonna sell enough to warrant making another one. And if it doesn't, no big deal. We'll just leave it enough to where it's not too open-ended.
it. Any final thoughts on God of War?
No, I'm just excited to play this at some point.
No, we will.
We will.
I am buying it.
You're buying it.
And we will play it together.
Yes,
How about we do this? This is what me and you will do.
Okay.
I'm going to buy it. I know I am.
Yes.
Me and you will play it together for the channel. Kind of like how we were going to do with Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale game. And it never worked out because that was when we were on the old camera.
And I think we were having a lot of lag systems.
We had a lot of lag issues with that.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't computer game on my laptop. Or that was my old laptop. But I will get it. We will record it. We will do
Sounds
God of
fantastic.
War so that Johnny can play it. Or at least experience it with us.
Just experience it.
Well, I mean, we'll probably switch off the controller.
Yeah.
But I am going to start with the controller.
Oh, okay.
Well, because it's my PlayStation and my game. Johnny.
I know.
House rules, man. Don't you remember when we were kids? House rules.
No, actually, I always try to let the guests go for a little bit since I own the game.
It was always house rules. Whenever me and my friends were anywhere, it was all right, Sean, we're at your house. You get first stab, and then I'm gonna get the second stab at it. Or it was, hey, let's play a 2-player game. So we can both have a controller. But it's not a 2-player game. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below of the trailer. Are you excited for God of War 2? Does this trailer make it more of a worth, or does it make it worth buying more so than there could have been the question there? There's a question in there. Is it worth buying? Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. But Johnny, let's move on into our next topic. And what we are looking at is we're doing a full gaming podcast here. We just talked about God of War and that trailer that dropped. Now we're moving over from PlayStation over to Xbox.
Yes.
And what we're looking at today is Xbox Game Pass. Is this the future of gaming? And just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, if you don't know what Xbox, I keep saying X-Pac, meaning like X. I'm thinking X-Pac from the old wrestling days. Xbox.
I'll take your word for it. You know I don't know that
Pass.
stuff.
This is from MajorNelson.com. It says, we know our fans value having a variety of games to play at a low monthly price. We've also heard from fans that the ability to play new blockbuster games on Xbox Game Pass is important. So we continue to explore new ideas to make it possible. Today, we're excited to announce plans for a major expansion to Xbox Game Pass that underscores our commitment to deliver our fans the ultimate gaming subscription service. Moving forward, we plan to release all new Xbox One exclusive games from Microsoft Studios onto the Games Pass and the same day that they release globally. This means that when Sea of Thieves launches on March 20th, it will be included in the Game Pass and to all members. The plan is to bring new games timed with their global releases to fans. Not only includes the titles of Sea of Thieves, but State of Decay 2 and Crackdown 3, but future unannounced games from Microsoft Studios. One exclusive franchise such as Halo, Forza, and Gears of War on the same day they launch. So, Johnny, I'm going to ask you, you're the Xbox guy here. Is this the future of gaming, having this Games Pass where it's you know what, I'm going to pay a monthly fee to have all my games downloadable from my Xbox?
In essence, yes, you can. I can correlate it to what's happening with movies and TV. Honestly, what happened, or what killed off basically
DVDs?
Well, I was going to say video stores. It was streaming and Redbox.
Yeah.
So basically, it's going to kind of be the future of gaming. It's going to be, well, I can have it all at my fingertips for only $10 a month.
So I'll ask you this. The Netflixes, the Redboxes of the world.
Yeah.
Even, let's say, the Amazon, in a sense.
Amazon, Hulu.
They killed Blockbuster. They're the
Hollywood
reason
Video, they killed those two
why
things.
I don't have a Blockbuster anymore in my neighborhood.
Basically.
So I want to ask you this. Does this mean then we're not going to see any GameStops? Or
I'm not
Best
saying
Buy's
that.
not going down because they have more than just games, but I'm talking about like how we used to, I'm going back to my kid days, but like EB Games, GameStop, those game stores.
I don't think those are going to go down necessarily, at least not right away until they have like, this is the first thing we're really getting like this.
Yeah.
I don't know about PS4 or the PlayStation Network in general.
Well, they kind of have their PS Now that's not
The
exactly
network, right?
the greatest. Well, not PlayStation Network. They have like PS Now, which is kind of a similar thing that Xbox is trying to do here with the Games Pass.
Okay, I mean, this is the first, like, I mean, I shouldn't say it's the first Game Pass thing we're getting, but it's like the first streaming one we're getting.
Yeah.
Because we have like not Netflix, Redbox offers them. You can go and rent them. They had one where they'll send the disc to you in the mail. I forgot what. I think it's just called GameFly. GameFly. Thank you. There was
not
that
sponsored,
one.
by the way.
No, but I'm just stating like things like that's still almost like the Netflix or like the Netflix when they sent it to you, or just basically the same idea as going out to Redbox. This is kind of like now it's at my fingertips. I have 100 games or so that I can pick from to play each month. And yeah, it's going to be like Netflix where eventually they probably cycle out and the new games are in. And that's where GameStop comes back in is, you know, I really like this game. I didn't get to finish it, or I really like this game. I want to play it again. I can go buy it from Best Buy, or I can go buy it from GameStop. And then that's where they'll get their money. I mean, they're still going to get the people that like, I'm like dedicated to this like game franchise or this type of game, like Call of Duty guys or anyone Battlefronted. For some reason you still want to play that one after what they did with the second one. It's like, you know what? Battlefront came out, I want to get it anyways. So I like having the disc copy of most things.
And that's what I was going to say. First off, what I've heard is that, let's say I'm going to use Halo for example. Yeah, you download Halo and then for some reason it's like Netflix, they get rid of it after a while. Yeah. From what I've heard, as long as you have it downloaded on your system, you still have it. So let's say I download Halo, they get rid of it. Well, now I have Halo until I get rid of it. Kind of a thing. Where if I delete it for some reason because I don't have enough space for a new game, then I have to decide, well, do I want to get rid of this because then I can't get it again? Here's my problem with it. Because I'm on the side where this is a good thing for gaming, but it's also, there's a bad side. And my good side is if you're a casual gamer, meaning you're not going to go on Twitch and stream, you're not going to try to go on like any of the streaming services trying to make money off of it, and you're just a casual, I want to pay this amount of money, play some games here and then, this could be good for you. Yeah. However, if you're an adult, you know as well as I do, your time is more valuable. We're not in high school to where I'm in school for 8 hours and then basically homework's a joke, so I can go home and play video games all day, every day. And plus, I get everyone's situations different, but like from mine, my parents were never the ones to force me to go out and get a job, so it was, I'm going to play games all through my weekend. I mean, that was my WoW phase, basically. But the negative side for me, part of it is the streaming side. Because, like, us here at MVP, one of our goals for 2018 is to get more into streaming. Yeah. And to have that for you guys, our fans. And I remember this is just one time negative experience. I know it's PlayStation, but it's a similar thing no matter the platform. I bought a digital copy of a game once, went to stream it, and because of the demand of playing the game from the hard drive and streaming, my PlayStation just shut down.
Really?
Just shut down and restarted because it was just too much for the system to handle. Never tried it again, never bought a digital copy again. I went back to the hard copies of games. But on the other side of it, too, is if you're an adult and it's like, you know what, am I going to, even if it's $10 a month, if I'm not playing it enough, am I going to feel like the set it and forget it kind of a style? Because let's be honest, Netflix, there's like 1 month where it's like, wow, I didn't watch any Netflix this month. What am I doing with that subscription? But it's a set it and forget it kind of a thing. Yeah. That's the negative that I see with it. For streamers, is it going to be viable to download and stream? But then also, is it going to where the fact of, for casual gamers, what if you buy a new release? What if you buy Sea of Thieves and you have to wait for it to download? With everyone on that day crashing the servers, I'm assuming it's going to take a while for you to download that game when you're probably sitting there going, wow, I could have just went to GameStop. They probably have them, or pre-ordered it from GameStop, picked it up, and I could be playing right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the negative side of it, but the positive of it too is now this is a way of you going, I only pay $10 a month. I can try out the new games.
Yeah.
Like, I'll honestly, if the game drops, like, usually game drops are on Tuesdays, right?
Yeah.
The game drops on Tuesday. I'll wait till Wednesday, Thursday to download it, and I'll just play other games I have right now.
Yeah, and
because
I mean, for someone like that, it works. But if you're a person where Sea of Thieves coming out March 20th, I need to play it with my friends that day. Well, guess what? You're probably not going to play it that night.
No, I don't think you are. Unless
it.
you get up in that morning, download it,
and have it downloading while you're at work or school.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. If you're willing to go and do that, then do that. But the thing is, like, now you can try out the game before buying that, paying $60, $30 to $60 to buy that hard copy.
Yeah.
I too usually prefer hard copies of things. You know that I have like every Marvel.
You're one of the only ones I know that still buys DVDs.
I still have every Marvel DVD / Blu-ray. Some of them are mixed, and they also have a digital copy.
Yep.
Majority of them.
Well, you know, in case the apocalypse happens, Johnny has his little portable DVD player.
Exactly.
So he can still watch. Do you really have a portable DVD
no,
player?
No, I don't. Okay. Actually, we might have one. We might have one floating around my house.
I'm like, Johnny,
somewhere.
This is a joke. Please don't make this joke a reality.
We might have one floating around in my garage somewhere. Well, you know, when that fad was popular.
So that he can educate the zombies on what Marvel was.
Exactly.
What Marvel was, Marvel is today.
What Marvel, that's one of the most important things people need to know is what Marvel was. Well, especially during the apocalypse.
Getting back to the Games Pass a little bit, like, I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah.
To where, like, this is innovative. I'm gonna say, well, not like innovative, like no one's doing it, but it's innovative to where if it can be done right, then what can we do? And one of the things that I'm interested to see if what comes from it is, are we going to get different tiers of subscription? Where
maybe eventually, yeah.
In the article that I read from Major Nelson, it also says, our fans have also asked for more choice in the subscription offerings available from Game Pass. As part of today's library expansion, we are also pleased to announce that we are working closely with our retail partners, such as GameStop, to offer a 6-month Game Pass subscription card for those fans who look for a variety of ways to purchase and enjoy new games and services. The 6 months Game Pass subscription card will be available from select retail partners at $60 beginning March 20th. By working closely with retail partners, Xbox Game Pass will have valuable ambassadors in popular destinations for gamers to discover new and exciting ways and enjoy our community. You know what this basically says to me? This is Xbox saying, we know our demographic.
Yeah.
We know it because, let's be completely honest, for people like you and me, we have bank accounts.
Exactly.
I'm going to set it up to my debit card. I'm going to set it up to my credit card. I'm going to set it and forget it. However, those kids who are in high school, those kids who are playing this game, they don't have those bank accounts.
Exactly. They have
it's basically,
cash on hand.
Or you want to, like, oh, give me something for my birthday? Get me a subscription.
Exactly.
But you don't have to pay for it. It's, oh, here's 6 months to this subscription. And it's like half a year, you're paying half a year's price for one game.
Exactly.
One game. If you bought one game, that's 6 months of the service.
Exactly. Which, again, to me, seems like a very good thing because, again,
because of how many games you get.
How many games you get and all the new ones that release in that 6 month period, you can at least try them.
Yeah.
Download them to your system, you try them. And that's the thing. For example, I got my system as a hand-me-down, and I deleted
Don't worry, we're going to get you a PlayStation as a hand-me-down so that you can come over to the good side. But besides the point.
Hand-me-down in a sense, but I was able to...
You got it for free, basically.
That free is always a great price. So there was a bunch of games still downloaded on there and everything. So what I did, I deleted everything that wasn't mine anyways. Have a shit ton of space on there now. I have probably 4 games on there. And I how much do I play Overwatch?
all the time.
That's like 90% of what I play.
It was that and then Stick of Truth before you beat it.
I'm still working on Stick of Truth.
Or not Stick of Truth, the Fractured Butthole.
I finished Fractured Butthole except like one side mission. I can't find that damn cat.
Did you really do all the side missions too?
Everything except I can't find one fucking cat.
Oh. Just one cat.
One cat. I can't find it. Anyways, but
the other game.
I'm still halfway through. Majority of that's Overwatch, but now with this, I can try out games, and because that's part of the problem for me. I usually don't have money to buy games. Go out and buy a game.
So let me put it this way: since you're usually one to where your situation is like, I can't go out and buy all the newest games when they come out.
Exactly.
Would you be interested in paying? Hey, I'm just gonna set it, forget it, $10 a month. And then have all these games at my disposal.
Honestly, I would do this, and it probably would make me able to stream more too.
Like, would you?
If it works together, if it works well together, because I have to see like obviously what they say. Like maybe they don't want people streaming every single thing they have. I wouldn't think
that would be more on the game developers and like the game, the people who make the game too.
Yeah, exactly. My thing would be wondering, as long as it's like the streaming service is compatible with Twitch, with streaming, I'd be happy to stream more games through this because then I can stream a more variety of games than, hey, John's gonna play Overwatch today.
Yeah, and I mean that's
for the 15th time.
Like I said, that's the only part. That's one of part of my negative side to it.
Yeah,
is will the Xbox as a whole be able to system-wise, I don't know why I said system-wise, but system-wise, will it be able to say, hey, you know what, you can stream the game and have Twitch going? Because like I said, I get it's one example, and I know what people are probably in the comments section like, Ricky, I do it all the time. I have the game on my system, I stream, but it happened to me once, I didn't want it to happen again.
Yeah. My thing would be like, I would think it should be fine only because, I mean, I bought Overwatch as not a disc, as just the gameplay, because it's like, you know what, A, I don't want to have to wait to go out to the store, and B, I'm not going to use the disc anyways for this, because this is an online-only game. There's nothing you can really do by yourself. Yeah. So it's like, what's the point of having a disc? I have to put the disc in every time, or I can just click on it and just be into the game.
Here's my final thought on it, and whether or not I would do something like this. Right now, where I'm at in my life, I would not buy this service. And it's not anything of like, I think it's crap, but it's just for me, I don't know if it would be worth it enough for me to get it.
That's true.
And because like I'm a guy right now, I went out and bought, like when I bought Call of Duty, I was like, I'm going to buy Call of Duty. I bought Wolfenstein. I went out and I was like, I want this game. There aren't many times where I'm like, man, I want to try this, like this game that's not really mainstream, but it's just a random game and I'm going to download it. That probably doesn't fit me. Like if I'm going to buy a game, it's because I'm like, holy shit, I want that game. Like right now, the game that I'm like kind of debating whether to buy because I'm kind of yearning for it is Monster Hunter World. Okay. Because it looks amazing. Have you seen the game footage for this game?
I don't remember if I have. I have to look it up.
Johnny, it is basically you get a quest from somebody, and this is not everyone's game, but I'm kind of intrigued by it. I've never played a Monster Hunter World either, or a Monster Hunter game. Is you get a quest from somebody, you go out in this open world either by yourself or with other hunters. You kill monsters. You hunt these monsters and then fight them and defeat them. And then you take their stuff and build gear out of it. Okay. So you can kill different monsters to make different gear. And then there's different weapon types, and it's an online community as well. It's basically boss fight the game. Because every monster fight is like a boss fight. And you actually have to like track it down. There's different like shawls that you can wear that give you like armor or camouflage or something else. It intrigues me. I haven't played it yet. I might buy it. But what's your final thought on Xbox Game Pass?
You know what? If I have money, well, if I get a job, I really don't do anything in the after work most of the time.
So you would just play games. Like you would set it, forget it, and then play.
If I had the money to do this, yes, I would. As of now, it's going to be a no, only because of financial situations. So I would be willing to do this, but again, like I've been at the point where I'm like, well, do I want to keep Netflix? I only keep it half the time. I only keep it because I have 4 other people using it. Hulu, I share the account, so it's like, well, it's not that much money for me to deal with. This, if I have the money, I would be willing to try it out at least for a little while, because then I can try more games, and that again maybe situationally change once I get a new job.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this will depend on situations.
Exactly.
But I do have some questions about it being the streaming side. There's the side, this is just a straight negative for me of if I want to play the game day one, like Sea of Thieves, it's coming out March 20th.
Yeah.
If I want to play that day one, there could be a chance I don't get to play it day one because of the servers being overloaded with people trying to download this new game. So I'm curious to how that will pan out, the streaming side of it. But I do like the idea of this, and I think this is where we're going more so as just a society in general. Like, we see Netflix, Hulu, DC's coming out with their own streaming service. Disney wants their own streaming service. Now the game side of it looks to be dipping into that as well.
What's nice with the game side, because that's different than movies, is they're trying to also support the actual gaming stores still.
Yes. Yeah, and the GameStop thing is interesting. Well, not interesting. It's intriguing because it's like, here, you can sell basically the iTunes gift card. Yeah. Is basically what they are. And you buy that, put the code in, or like the WoW cards that we used to buy. I never had my WoW card hooked up to my actual like debit card because I played in high school. I would always every 2 months go to buy a game card, and there was a time where it's like, shit, my game card's up. I can't play. I got to go get one.
Same thing with first time I bought my my Xbox Live account. Went and got the card because I'm like, well, I don't have a debit card that can do that yet. It was weird that I like how I had to set it up, but still, that's how I did the first one. The first time I set it up, then I finally got my credit card to connect to it. I'm like, okay, well, now it's there, so I got it.
And now that we're adults, it's just like, hey, I've said it before, set it, forget it, and I have it.
Yep.
Set it and forget it. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you guys think down below. If you're on Xbox, what do you think of Game Pass? And are you, my question for you is, are you going to get it? If you're on Xbox, are you going to get Game Pass? If you're not on Xbox like myself, do you think this is the future of gaming? Do you think this is where we are headed in the gaming world? Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. But Johnny, let's finish out the podcast. Going back to a show we haven't talked about in quite some time.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we talked about a little Game of Thrones on here. And the reason why we're talking about it is on Screen Rant, they had an article about Game of Thrones possibly having a pregnancy storyline in season 8. And this is where they got it from. TV Line's website. It says, without naming Game of Thrones specifically, the site claimed to have confirmed that a widely popular Emmy-winning TV series on a premium cable network is plotting a pregnancy twist that promises to be ... surprising is an understatement. So the question I want to ask you, Johnny, is should Game of Thrones Season 8, should it include a pregnancy storyline to end the series?
Well, I mean, we kind of already do, so they're like basically trying to... One of two things.
Main like a pregnancy storyline to be the main twist.
Yes. Well,
what they twist?
What do you twist? Well, there is one in there already. So it's either...
Cersei.
Yes, exactly. I was going to get to that, but thanks. Take all the fun out of it.
I try.
You're the one that like reveals Christmas presents as you give them out, right? Or before you give them out,
Here's
right?
a sweater. Happy Christmas.
Here's that Xbox game you wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't even unwrap it yet.
Let's be completely honest. Sean wore, if you haven't seen the Fast Break this week, Sean wore the shirt that I got him for Christmas.
Yeah.
Let's be completely honest. I went to each one of you guys and was like, so do you want to know what it is or do you want it to be a secret? And all of you guys know who I am and are just like, just tell me.
No, actually, I said don't tell me.
I know, but most of you guys are like, just tell me, because it's like, partly it's like, now I'm going to worry about it, but also it's like, Ricky, I know you just want to fucking tell me. I know you just want me to know what I'm getting.
Must have been killing you because I made you wait.
No, because, I mean, no, it didn't kill me.
Oh, okay.
It didn't, because I'm like, you know what? That's who Johnny is. But go ahead.
Anyways, yes, back to Game of Thrones.
With your Game of Thrones with Cersei's pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, they said there's going to be a twist on it, but then they say something about a surprise too, or something like that.
Surprising is an understatement, is what they said.
Surprising is an understatement.
Meaning it's going to be more than, it's going to be a notch higher than surprising.
Okay, so I mean, we can't really...
Shocking.
I mean, if the twist is the shocking part, then it can still apply to Cersei, who we already have a pregnancy storyline for. We just have to see what's going to happen. Because what we got to remember, too, when it comes to that, is when she was a child, a witch told her what her future was going to be. And it didn't mention a fourth child.
No, it didn't.
It said your three, I think it's something along the lines of your three children. Whatever. Your three children are going to die. And so is the king. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, we can get back to this. It's that or someone else in Game of Thrones universe, I guess we can call it, is preggers or going to be preggers now. And then the question is who?
The first name I thought of when I saw pregnancy storyline was, God damn it, Daenerys is pregnant. Like, that's what I thought.
That would be the next
Daenerys is pregnant. Jon Snow got her pregnant. Here's what I'm thinking.
That's gross.
I'm theorizing in my head.
Oh, you're
You ready for this?
theorizing.
I've got two. One I'm stealing from you because you mentioned this before the podcast.
I did.
I just want to throw it out there so that it's in the world.
Yeah.
So that they can take it, they being you guys, can take it
and run wherever
and
they
run
want
with it. Because, like I mentioned to you, you brought up the first question you asked was, how long has Ramsay been dead for?
Yes.
Because you were thinking the whole Ramsay Sansa thing when they were technically married, but like
he raped her,
and
I guess he did.
Was one
I didn't
where
watch the scene.
My first thought was too much time has passed for us not to know that she's pregnant, unless it's start of season 8. Holy shit, Sansa's pregnant.
Could be, honestly, because we only had he died at the end of season 6. Season 7 starts off basically right after season 6.
But I'm not, off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure how long has passed during season 7.
Yes.
Because they accelerated stuff, like
they
going
did.
basically across the map within episodes.
And that's the other question it comes down to is how long, well, that's the main question it comes down to. How much time has passed between the two? Because I could potentially see a Sansa pregnant storyline, because also... How long till you know you're pregnant? Because Cersei knows, but she's also had 3 other kids.
True.
Sansa's never had a kid.
What if Sansa doesn't think she is, but she is?
Exactly. She
doesn't have that motherly influence anymore because her mom's dead.
Exactly. There's no one for her to really go to, close like that. Like again, there's people like servants and stuff like that. There's no one close to her to tell her Sansa, you might be pregnant, or you are pregnant. So she wouldn't know, which is why we could be pushing it off till season 8.
Interesting theory on top of that theory. Yes. And I'm not saying this is right. I'm just thinking, what if that is right? Do you think if Sansa learned that the baby was Ramsay's, do you think that, let's say she learned after the baby was born, would she kill the baby because it's Ramsay's? Or if she learned and came to the realization it was Ramsay's while it was still in her, would she kill herself to kill the baby because she didn't want a spawn of Ramsay being in the world?
That's a good question. There would be a lot of drama.
Because of how much she hated Ramsay, and, rightfully so for what he did to her and did to everyone else. But do you think
agree.
This is just an offshoot question. Do you think she would go to that level if that was true? Like, I don't want his spawn in the world. I'm going to kill myself.
She may do that because she may even think, I don't want this spawn inside me.
That too.
Yeah.
Like on both sides. Like that was something that just popped into my head of could that be a surprising twist?
Yeah.
That we see. Here's the one that I think is more likely to happen, and I want to throw it out there and just see what everyone thinks. Tyrion kills Daenerys. Jon gets Daenerys pregnant. We find out it's going to be a boy, or it could be a boy.
Yeah.
Tyrion, who wasn't already happy with them, however, he kills Daenerys to make sure Jon's on the throne.
Could be. I don't think he'd kill Daenerys to make sure Jon's on the throne, because Jon even if Daenerys has a boy,
That's right. Well,
is on the throne no matter what.
that's right. But
Because Jon is the heir. As soon as we find out that he's like, as soon as we find out he's actually the heir, that's when everything will flip over for Daenerys. Either way, Jon's the top of the throne, whether Daenerys has a boy or not.
I'm trying to think in my head, because as you were talking, I was thinking about it, and now I lost that key part of, but that would be a twist.
Yeah.
Tyrion, who has been on the side of Daenerys this whole time, who had been her hand to the queen, kills her in the end. Just says, you know what? This is not right. Boom. Or because of the fact, here's a reason why he could do it, is because technically the whole Jon and Daenerys thing, yes, it's not brother-sister, but it is kind of similar to Jaime and Cersei. What if Tyrion goes, I don't want the chance of another true Mad King because it's Targaryen blood, and we all saw what Joffrey was like. Although the other ones weren't exactly like that, Joffrey was the most Mad King-like.
Here's one that we kind of talked about in our other Game of Thrones things. What if Jaime kills Cersei, his own child?
Is that
there's the big twist too? Then
maybe I don't see that as surprising because I've kind of been haven't I been kind of mentioning that?
Yeah,
since,
you
like,
have
the last few seasons that Jaime would be the one to kill Cersei.
Yeah, I think we have. I think we've gone back and forth.
But do you think
back and forth between Tyrion and Jaime doing it?
Here's the interesting thing though, because I don't think TV Line is very into Game of Thrones and in the trenches like we are.
Yeah.
Would that be surprising as an understatement? Would that describe it for a casual, like, oh, I know what Game of Thrones is?
It would, but it wouldn't, because Jaime would, like, you would think Jaime wouldn't kill his own child, but then again, like, with the amount, like, with how Cersei's acting, that may push him over the edge, because now he's fine. Remember, for the longest time, no matter what Cersei did, he followed it like an idiot. And then, yes.
What if the kid ain't Jaime's?
Ooh, but whose would it be is the question then.
That's the thing. Because think about this. It was a pretty quick turnaround from they have sex to, hey, I'm pregnant. What if Cersei had sex with Jaime to, okay, now I can get him to believe this is his?
Could be, but I don't see Cersei doing that only because she had that lust for her brother the entire time.
What if we find out it's like magically fake?
Could be. I just don't know.
Not magically, but like she is very deceivious.
Manipulative.
Manipulative, deceivious. I don't even think that's a word, is it?
No,
I'm
not
making
really.
up words here on the podcast.
She's deceptive.
Today. Deceptive. That's what I'm thinking of. However, I wouldn't put it past her to pin a child on Jaime, thinking it's his when it's not.
It could be.
The question is, whose would it be? Which I don't have that answer.
Who could it be now?
Don't have that answer, Johnny. I do not have the answer of whose it could be.
I think the most likely out of all these is the Daenerys thing, or some grave twist in Cersei's, though. Honestly, which could be anything in this Game of Thrones universe.
Trying to think. Really, there's no one like the Sansa one. Interesting. I'm glad you even thought about it.
Yeah.
I know I brought it to the table, but that was because I think when we talked about it pre-podcast, I was like, I don't think Johnny's going to bring this up because it was kind of shot down.
Yeah, I wasn't going to only because I was debating on doing it.
I wanted it to be brought up for the discussion part of it. But really, I think it's going to be either Daenerys or Cersei are the two that we get.
But there's your surprise too if it is Sansa, because like we said, Daenerys also wouldn't know if she's pregnant right away.
True.
Because neither of the two of them have had that experience. No, never mind. I forgot. Daenerys did. She did.
Here's a question.
She lost the one.
Here's a question of if it is Sansa, because I'm going back to that.
Yeah.
You know what makes it an interesting kind of dilemma?
Huh.
What if the twist is that, oh, she is pregnant. She was pregnant all through season 7. We just didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, the character could know, but we can't know. It's kind of like an aside.
Would you really want to reveal that right away?
No. But what if she's been pregnant, and then it's the dilemma of, I don't want Ramsay's child into the world. However, I just learned it's a son. And if I have this son, that could be the new rightful king and the new starting point for the Starks.
Well, not king, but yeah, the head of Stark.
Exactly, because right now, look at where the family is.
Exactly.
Jon's a Targaryen. Well, he's a Stark, but he's a Targaryen by name.
Yeah.
You've got Bran, who is now the Raven. He's not going to be the king of Winterfell.
No.
Arya wants nothing to do with being a queen, but she's not a guy anyways. And then Sansa, who would be the rightful heir to the throne, would need a husband, but two, by having a son, she could then say he is this is the rightful heir to the winter, and she could just, because Ramsay's dead, he is not a Bolton, he's a Stark.
That's true. I mean, I don't know how it works out exactly in that.
However, you could fight it and say, well, no, really, he's a Bolton because his father was Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how they would work it out in that world, because maybe they can call him a Stark because Bolton is dead, or does he become a bastard because there's no father anymore?
True.
So that would be the question. I mean, he was conceived with a married couple, but then it comes to the question of what happens when the father dies and the child's not born yet. That would be something to find out from the Game of Thrones universe. But yeah, that's where it comes in too. Either way, it's an heir to Winterfell now.
I don't know if the son would be a bastard, only because, and I'm going to say the name wrong, but look at Gendry, where it's Robert was still alive, yet he was still one of Robert's bastards, but that was because it was Robert outside of his marriage.
Exactly.
Sansa wasn't, or
Sansa was
she technically married to?
She was married to Ramsay.
And they had that child then in marriage.
Exactly.
He's dead.
So I
don't think he'd be a bastard. He'd just be a kid whose father died.
Honestly, he'd be a Bolton then.
He would be a Bolton.
Maybe not by name.
By tradition, he would be Bolton. But
yes.
I could see Sansa going, no, I don't want his name even living on. He is a Stark. And this is where the Stark tree begins again.
Yeah.
Because let's be completely honest. Because of the two guys, Jon being a Targaryen, Bran now being the Raven, it's basically all on Sansa. And if Sansa married someone, the Stark name dies.
Exactly.
This could be that would be a fucking amazing twist.
The restart of the Stark name.
At the very end of the season, she has the kid, and it's a boy, and then it's like the Stark name is reborn.
Or because of how much time possibly has passed, or like early mid-season 8, let's say before the fight with the White Walkers, she has the kid. Extra drive, especially for Jon, because Jon takes everything to heart that happens in his family to keep that kid alive.
Yeah.
Because, oh shit, this is the heir to my actual family's name.
He has more of a connection to the Starks than anyone. The Targaryens.
Exactly.
Anyways.
He'll be like, his mindset, as I can see it, would be like, I have to keep this kid alive because he is the heir to my family's name.
True.
Even if he finds out before then he's a Targaryen.
And this is off the topic a little bit, but we are getting Game of Thrones apparently spring of 2019. That's when Maisie Williams had said that Game of Thrones Season 8 will premiere sometime within spring 2019. So we got to go all the way through 2018, then get it at the beginning of 2019.
Yeah.
Which spring will probably be what, March, April it'll start? Probably March.
March
it'll start. Usually. It'll go through kind of the beginning of
March, April, and maybe part of May.
There's 7 episodes, 6 episodes. So, 8, I think, is the most that they'll do.
Yeah. So it'd be depending on where in March, it'd be March or part of March, all of April, and maybe part of May.
Any final thoughts or any Game of Thrones thing that you're like, I want to throw out here because we haven't talked about it in a while?
Not really. I'm interested to see where the pregnancy line comes from.
If there even is one.
If there even is one.
Because just because someone says there is one doesn't mean there's going to be one. You know what I'm saying?
Like they do like you told me before, they do 5 extra hours of footage or recording just to throw people off.
They do.
That is nuts.
Of filming.
Yeah.
They film fake scenes just so if paparazzi sees it, it's like, nope, that's not in there.
Yeah. That's one of those extra ones, guys.
Think about that. 5 hours of lines that the actors still have to memorize because they actually have to film the scenes.
Exactly.
There's no camera there's no film in the camera, but they're still filming the scene.
Exactly.
Filming the scene.
Yeah, exactly. That's nuts. So, I mean, that could just be something to, like, throw people off or something. You never know.
It could be, but this is where I turn it on to you guys. Let us know what you guys think down below. If there is should there be a pregnancy storyline? If there is, what do you think it's going to be for season 8 of Game of Thrones? But I want to thank you guys for checking out the Rick and Johnny podcast. A little housekeeping here at the end. Number one, if you have not already, you like what we're doing here, you want to see it continue, make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Also, if you want to get your hands on an MVP t-shirt, make sure to check out the description. All the information is in the description. If you're on iTunes, make sure to, if you're on iTunes, listening on iTunes, have an iTunes, make sure to go give the Rick and Johnny podcast a 5-star rating. And last but not least, really, I'll say this. If you want to check out the survey, still check out the survey. We are just kind of collecting the responses this week, but if you have not given us your feedback, make sure to give us your feedback in the survey link below. Want to thank you guys for the watching on YouTube or listening on podcast services around the world, but as always, have a good day, everybody.